Welcome to Nilanjana's exclusive English lessons. So your ICSE exams English literature paper is tomorrow, and I know many of you have a doubt with Act 3 Scene 2. So I am starting this explanation from Portia's speech, which is very important for tomorrow's exam. So I want all of you to go through this explanation. I've given again a line by line analysis, and I hope this is going to help you. So keep watching and listen to the video till the end, and for any doubts you can reach out to me. Thank you so much. Please listen to the video. Portia's speech. You see me, Lord Bassanio, where I stand. Now after he has chosen the right casket, he reads the scroll first, and then he goes and kisses Portia as it was directed in the scroll. Okay, so then he tells to Portia, before the speech before this, Bassanio is still in a state of daze, like he's not able to believe that whether he's whether he has actually won the bet or not, whether he has actually won Portia or not. So he's telling that my situation is like a contender in a prize, because I can hear the applause, I can hear like people are praising me, but I'm still in doubt that whether these praises are for me or not. So he comes to stand in front of her, and he tells that, so thrice fair lady, stand I even so, as doubtful whether what I see be true. So please confirm that whether whatever I see, whatever I hear is true or not, until confirmed, signed, ratified by you. Unless you approve, unless you confirm, I am not able to believe my eyes, believe whatever is happening around me. Portia, you see me, Lord Bassanio, where I stand, such as I am. So she's telling that yes, of course, she's being very modest over here. She's being very humble over here. He tells that, yes, you can see that I'm standing over here. Though for myself alone, I would not be ambitious in my wish to wish myself much better. So she is telling that I am extremely happy to get you, and I am not that ambitious that I would like to aspire for something better than what I have got. Yet for you, I would be trebled 20 times myself, 1,000 times more fair, 10,000 times more rich. So she tells that in order to be equal in front of your eyes, I would rather, multiply myself, actually trebled. So trebled over here refers to multiply 20 times myself. So in order to be as good as you are, in order to make me equal, I would rather multiply myself 20 times more, 1,000 times more fair, 10,000 times more rich. That means I would rather be more beautiful, more rich to be actually suitable for you. That means you are very good and you are like even better than me. So she's trying to be very humble, but in reality we know that Portia is much wealthier. She's also very beautiful, and she is way better than Bassanio, but still in love, people get such flattered, and so therefore she's telling all this that I would like to be 10,000 times more rich. So this is an estimation that she gives of Bassanio, that only to stand high in your account. That means to stand high, to estimate myself high in your account, I might in virtues, beauties, living strengths exceed account. That means all my good points, means the virtues, all my beautiful qualities, my money, my friends, that would exceed account. That would be more required if I actually need to be equal to you. But the full sum of me is sum of something, which to term in gross is an unlessoned girl, unschooled, unpracticed. So these are the three things she describes about herself. Again, we understand that she is being extremely modest. So what she tells that if you sum up, if you do an estimate of my entire existence, I am actually unlessoned, means I'm not experienced. I am unschooled, means I'm not as good. I've never been to a school, maybe a proper formal education she's talking about. And unpracticed, that means I've never practiced the ways of the world. So she is actually trying to demean, like bring herself down in order to be good to Bassanio. Happy in this, She is not yet so old, but she may learn. But I am also happy at the same time that I am not that old that I cannot learn it. So, whatever I am lacking, I'm ready to learn and I'm happy about that. Happier than this, she is not bred so dull, but she can learn. So, she is not bred means she is not brought up in such a manner that she can never learn. So, obviously, she can learn. And happiest of all is that her gentle spirit. Then she calls herself happiest of all. Why happiest of all? Because she has seen Bassanio choosing the right casket. So therefore she is happiest of all that her gentle spirit commits itself to yours to be directed. So you can actually guide me as you can. Commits itself means I am devoting myself to you, thinking that you can guide me, you can direct me. How you will direct? As from her lord, her governor, her king. So she is giving Bassanio uh, the the position of being her lord, being her governor, and being her king. Myself. Now this part is important. Myself and what is mine to you and yours is now converted. So whatever I have, my first of all my existence, myself, and then my what is mine to you is all yours, means my wealth, my mansion, everything now belongs to you, is now converted. So that means whatever is mine is now equally yours as well. And even now, but now this house, these servants, and this same myself means she, are all yours, my lord. Then this part you can put a star because she gives him a ring over here. This ring has a lot of significance, we know later on in the play. So she gives the wedding ring over here, and she also tells which when you part from, in case if you ever part from this ring, lose, or you give it away to someone else, let it presage means let it be the sign, the ruin of your love, and be my vantage to exclaim on you. So let it be the sign that our love has doomed. The ruin of your love means our love has doomed, and let it also be a situation where I can have a right to get angry on you. So Bassanio, madam, you have bereft me of all words. So Bassanio is overwhelmed and he tells that actually I'm speechless. I don't have any words after hearing whatever you have said. Only my blood speaks to you in my veins. So I can only understand that there's some emotion that is I'm experiencing in my veins, but I am at a loss of words. And there is such confusion in my powers as after some oration fairly spoke by a beloved prince. And also I'm very confused because you told me so many things that everything is so overwhelming. First of all, I have won the casket, then after this you are telling everything is now whatever is yours is mine. So he's very confused, and his situation is like a crowd after hearing a speech from their prince, a beloved prince. When the subjects of a country or a state hears a wonderful speech from their beloved prince, they are overwhelmed with joy. So, and my situation is almost like that. There doth appear among the buzzing pleased multitude, where every something being blent together turns to a wild of nothing save of joy. So there doth appear means that also at the same time it's like all the feelings are being blended into one, where every something being blent together means all my feelings are blended together, turns to a wild of nothing means it's an emotion of pure happiness, save of joy, expressed and not expressed. So what happens is when they hear a speech of their beloved prince, what do the crowd do? They start buzzing. Among the buzzing, the word buzzing means the crowd, after listening, they start murmuring positive remarks about the speech, like oh wow, what a speech. So they start buzzing, and it's like a complete feeling of joy which is all blended together. which is expressed in one way, and at the same time it is not expressed clearly. But when this ring parts from this finger, then parts life from hence. So he also tells that if ever this ring parts from my finger, if my ring gets lost, then parts life from hence. That means I will also be dead at the same time. Oh, then be bold to say Bassanio is dead, and that time please tell that yes, fine, Bassanio is no longer alive, because the ring stands as the sign of my life. So this is the kind of importance he attaches to the ring. But here there is an irony, because we know, those who have read, the end of the play, they know that he has to part with the ring later on. So yes, whatever he tells turns out to be quite ironical. Nerissa. My lord and lady, it is now our time that have stood by and seen our wishes prosper. Now, as Portia and Bassanio, they fall in love, at the same time, Nerissa and Gratiano also, they also fall in love and they get married, or as their counterpart. Okay, so she tells to that Nerissa that we have been watching. It is now our time, because we have stood by you, and we have also seen that how everything unfolded. To cry good joy, my lord and lady. So here she's congratulating both Bassanio and Portia and Gratiano. My lord Bassanio and my gentle lady, I wish you all the joy that you can wish for I am sure you can wish none from me. So he also congratulates. And when your honors mean to solemnize, that means when you plan to get married, the bargain of your faith, since both of you are in love, when you plan to get married, I do beseech you, I also request you that even at that time I may be married too. So he also says that I would also like to get married at the same time. With all, Bassanio, with all my heart, so thou canst get a wife. So yes, of course you can, but find a wife first. I thank you, Gratiano, I thank you, lordship, you have got me one. So yes, I've already found my wife. My eyes, my lord, can look as swift as yours, so I can also fall in love as fast as you can. You saw the mistress, I beheld the maid. So you saw the mistress and I saw the maid. I fell in love with the maid, which is Nerissa. You loved, I loved. For intermission, no more pertains to me, my lord, than you. So I don't delay. For intermission here means I don't like to delay. I don't have a habit of delaying. Your fortune stood upon the caskets there. So your fate, your luck depended on the caskets, right? If you would choose the right casket, your luck depended on that. And so did mine too. So my luck also depended. How? As the matter falls, for wooing here until I sweat again, and swearing till my very roof was dry, with oaths of love, at last, if promise last, I got a promise of this fair one here to have her love, provided that your fortune achieved her mistress. So what he is trying to say, that I also kept on wooing, persuading Nerissa to accept my proposal, and I kept on doing it. Okay, but what did she say? That she would, I got a promise of this fair one here to have her love, means she was ready to accept my proposal, provided that Bassanio chose the right casket. That means Nerissa is very, very close to Portia, and Portia was already in love with Bassanio. Portia wanted Bassanio to choose the right casket, and they were all waiting for that right moment. And Nerissa said that before he does it, I'm not going to say yes to you. So I have been waiting for Nerissa to accept my proposal. Is this true, Nerissa? Portia asked. Nerissa, madam, it is. So you stand pleased withal. So yes, if it is all right with you, of course it is true. Bassanio, and do you, Gratiano, mean good faith? Mean good faith means, are you serious? Yes, faith, my lord. Bassanio, our feast shall be much honored in your marriage. So, of course, Bassanio is also very happy Now, and they decide to get married together, Graciano. Now here again there is a very important part, because now the focus will shift, because we have Lorenzo, Jessica and Salerio entering the scene. So Graciano, but who comes here? Lorenzo and his infidel. Now infidel refers to Jessica. She is a non-Christian, so therefore she is described as somebody who is a non-Christian. And then he also tells what? My old Venetian friend Salerio. So here at this point, three of them enter Bassanio. Lorenzo and Salerio welcome hither. So we know that why they have come. They have actually brought the news that Antonio is now right now almost bankrupt because he has lost everything. So he brings the letter. Okay. So Lorenzo and Salerio welcome hither. If that the youth of my new interest here have power to bid you welcome. So where right now they are in Portia's house. So Bassanio tells that if that the youth of my new interest, of course I have acquired some new rights. Rights means, of course, it is the person whose house you enter, they usually welcome you. But now that I have acquired these new rights, and Portia told me that it belongs to me as well, I am welcoming, welcoming all of you. So basically, I hope my position is strong enough to allow my friends in this house. This is what he tries to say. By your leave, I bid my very friends and countrymen, sweet Portia, welcome. So do I, my lord. They are entirely welcome. I thank your honor for my part, my lord. So Lorenzo tells that, yes, I also thank you. My purpose was not to have seen you here, but meeting with Salerio by the way. So actually, I was not intending to come here, but I met Salerio on the way, and he did entreat me, he begged me, requested me, past all saying nay, to come with him along. Means he kept on pestering me, persuading me to come and accompany him, and I couldn't say no. That's the reason I'm here. So Salerio tells, yes, I did, my lord, and I have a reason for it. Signia Antonio commends him to you. So Antonio has given a letter, and this is now Salerio hands the letter to Bassanio. So he gives Bassanio a letter. Bassanio, ere I ope his letter, so before I open this letter, I pray you tell me how my good friend doth. So how my good friend is doing. Salerio, not sick, my lord, unless it be in mind. So he is physically not sick, but he is upset. Unless it be in mind means he is upset. Nor well, unless in mind, his letter there will show you his estate. So what does he say? That actually the letter, if you read, it will show you that how is he doing, because the letter will tell you everything about it. Bassanio now reads the letter. Graciano, Nerissa, cheer yon stranger, bid her welcome. So Graciano is telling Nerissa that Graciano is telling Nerissa that cheer Jessica, please welcome her also. Your hand, Salerio, what's the news from Venice? How doth that royal merchant, good Antonio? I know he will be glad of our success. We are the Jasons, we have won the fleece. So Graciano tells that, how is the royal merchant doing? How is Antonio doing? And I'm sure that he will be very happy about our success. Why? Because we are the Jasons, we have won the fleece. So fleece over here, you can go to the glossary, it is clearly written over here. After this, I would you had won the fleece that he hath lost. So fleece over here refers to the gold. Antonio, this one, Bassanio had chosen the golden casket, right? So Salerio is telling that I would you had won the gold which Antonio has lost, because Antonio has gone through a lot of monetary losses. So I would actually want that if you had won that gold which he has lost, because right now he is bankrupt. Now, Bassanio is reading the letter, and as he is reading the letter, his face is losing his color. Means he is becoming pale because he can understand that the news is not at all a good one. So Portia notices Bassanio as he is reading, and she tells that there are some shrewd contents in yon paper. That means there is some bad news in that paper that steals the color from Bassanio's cheek. Means it's making his face pale. Some dear friend dead, else nothing in the world could turn so much the constitution of any constant man. So there must be something really terrible because his face is, losing the color, and it is probably that maybe some dear friend must have died, because nothing can affect the appearance of such a firm and constant man. Because as far as I have known Bassanio, he is very firm, he is very constant. Then suddenly what happened? What? Worse and worse. So, she is getting paler and paler. With leave, Bassanio, I am half yourself, and I must freely have the half of anything that this same paper brings you. So she puts her hand around him over here. Actually, she's trying to console him, and she's telling that, let me also bear the burden that you are going through. The letter, of course, has some sad and solemn news. So let me also bear the burden and tell me. Basically, she's asking, tell me the news. Bassanio, oh sweet Portia, here are a few of the unpleasantest words that ever blotted paper. So, of course, the words which I'm reading from here, they are most unpleasant to me that has been ever written. Gentle lady, when I did first impart my love to you, I freely told you all the wealth I had ran in my veins. So that time I told you, whatever wealth I had, I was a gentleman, and then I told you true. And yet, dear lady, rating myself at nothing, you shall see how much I was a braggart. So I was actually bragging. I was bragging about my wealth. When I told you my state was nothing, I should then have told you that I was worse than nothing. We know what is Bassanio's state. He always has been borrowing money from Antonio for his expenditure, for his extravagant lifestyle. And this is what he now tells to Portia, that I was always bragging. And when I said that I had nothing, it was actually worse than nothing, because actually I did not have anything. For indeed, I have engaged myself to a dear friend. So I have engaged myself means I have borrowed money from a dear friend, engaged my friend to his mere enemy. And my friend actually borrowed this money from his enemy to feed my means, to help me. Here is a letter, lady, the paper as the body of my friend, and every word in it a gaping wound, issuing life blood. So this is the letter which I'm getting from my friend, and every word is like a wound over here which is bleeding. When a wound is open, it has not healed, it keeps on bleeding. So every word is a gaping wound. And then he asks Salerio, but is it true? Have all his ventures failed? What? Not one hit. So how it is possible that none of his ventures have successfully come? All his ventures have failed, not even one. From Tripolis, from Mexico and England, from Lisbon, Barbary and India. We know that his ships were out in all places, and none of the ships have actually made the profit. And not one vessel escaped the dreadful touch of merchant marring rocks. So all his ships have been capsized and they have drowned. So everything has been lost. He has gone through tremendous losses. And not even one ship has been saved from the dreadful touch of merchant marring rocks. So when the ship travels in the ocean, it sails in the ocean, when it hits a rock, of course, there is the tragedy of the ship being drowned and everything falling apart, like tremendous losses in being incurred by the merchant. And the same thing had happened with Antonio. Not one, my lord. Besides, it should appear that if he had the present money to discharge the Jew, he would not take it. Not only that, besides, even if he had the present money to give to the Jew was not ready to take it. Never did I know a creature that did bear the shape of man. Now he is describing Shylock, his cunning, his mean nature. That I have never seen a person in the shape of a man, so keen and greedy to confound a man. Shylock was hell bent to destroy Antonio, and even if the money was being given to him, he was not ready to take. He plies the Duke at morning and at night, and doth impeach the freedom of the state. So Shylock has been pestering the Duke from morn till night that the freedom of the state will be in danger if justice is denied to him. So why it has been said? Because other merchants who would be doing business in the state, that means if Shylock is not given his justice, because according to the bond, of course, the Duke has to make sure that whatever penalty has been asked, it should be paid. So if you deny me justice, then the freedom of the state will be in danger. People will lose faith on law. 20 merchants, the Duke himself, and the magnificos of greatest court have all persuaded with him. So 20 merchants, the Duke, and all the rich men, magnificos means the rich men of the state, they have all been persuading with him, but none can persuade him from the envious plea of forfeiture of justice and his bond. So none can actually persuade him from the envious plea. Whatever forfeiture he was asking for, whatever justice he has been asking for, whatever bond he has signed, nobody can persuade him to forget that. He is hell-bent on getting whatever he has asked. He is adamant. Basically, he is very adamant. Jessica, when I was with him, I have heard him swear to Tubal and to Chas, his countrymen, that he would rather have Antonio's flesh than 20 times the value of the sum that he did owe him. And I know, my lord, if law, authority, and power deny not, it will go hard with poor Antonio. So Jessica knows the real nature of Shylock, and she tells that actually when I was with him, here she confirms. She confirms that actually I have heard him swear to Tubal and to some other Jew named Chas, and also his countryman, who is a Jew, that he would rather have Antonio's flesh than 20 times the value of the sum. That means what? He does not interested in the money. He's hell-bent in killing Antonio because he has so much of spite and revenge for him. So if the authority means the Duke can take an action, if law has some kind of way to get Antonio free from this mess, then it will be really difficult. Times will be very hard for Antonio. Portia, is it your dear friend that is thus in trouble? So Portia asks that, is the friend who is in trouble very close to you? Bassanio, the dearest friend to me, the kindest man, the best conditioned and unwearied spirit in doing courtesies, and one in whom the ancient Roman honor more appears than that draws breath in Italy. So here also we get an understanding of Antonio's real nature. So according to Bassanio, he is my greatest friend. He is the kindest man that I have ever seen, and he is also the best conditioned, means best natured, and his untiring spirit, unwearied means untiring spirit in doing courtesies, means he's very nice and courteous to others, and one in whom the Roman spirit of honor is clearly seen than any other man in Italy. See, Romans were known to be very honorable, very true to their nature. So the spirit of the Roman spirit in Antonio is very evident than anybody else in Italy. So Portia now asks what sum he owes the Jew. How much is the money that actually he owes? Bassanio, for me 3,000 ducats. Portia is, for her this money is very less, very limited. So she's telling, oh, what, no more? Pay him 6,000 and deface the bond. So give him double, cancel the bond. Deface the bond means cancel the bond. Double 6,000 and then treble that. So double it. So make it 12,000. Then again treble it 3 times more. before a friend of this description shall lose a hair through Bassanio's fault. So, the way you have described your friend, before a friend of such stature will lose a hair through Bassanio's fault, please give him all this money which I am telling you. First, go with me to church and call me wife. But before that, let us go to the church and get married, and then away to Venice to your friend. And then you can go to Venice to help your friend. For never shall you lie by Portia's side with an unquiet soul. So you are right now very disturbed, and I cannot let you stay here with such a disturbed state of mind. You shall have gold to pay the petty debt. Petty means very insignificant, the small debt. So you will have the money, you will have the gold to pay the small debt 20 times over when it is paid. Bring your true friend along, and also bring your friend along once everything is sorted. My maid Nerissa and myself meantime will live as maids and widows, means we will live without a husband. Come away. For you shall hence upon your wedding day bid your friends welcome. So you will welcome your friends. Show a merry cheer, since you are dear bought. So you will be cheerful. You should show your cheerful nature. I will love you, dear, but let me hear the letter of your friend. So now she wants to hear the letter which Antonio has sent. Sweet, now Bassanio reads the letter. Sweet Bassanio, my ships have all miscarried. My ships have all been wrecked. My creditors grow cruel. So my creditors are asking for money. My estate is very low. My resources are very low. My bond to the Jew is forfeit. Means I have failed the bond. So of course now I have to pay the penalty. And since paying it, it is impossible I should live. If I have to pay the forfeiture, what? Obviously I will not be alive, because I have to cut a pound. He will cut a pound of flesh. All debts are cleared between you and I. So I am clearing you of all the debts. If I might but see you at my death. So, but I know that, I will die, and I just want to see you once before my death. Notwithstanding, use your pleasure. If your love do not persuade you to come, let not my letter. So my death is inevitable, I will die. So you come for my love, if at least not for the letter, come for my love, and I want to meet you. Oh love, now Portia is also moved. She tells, oh love, dispatch all business and be gone. So immediately please go. Bassanio, since I have your good leave to go away, so since I have the permission to go, I will make haste. But until I come again, no bed shall ever be guilty of my stay, no rest be interposer betwixt us twain. So nobody should come between us two, and I will not take sleep, or neither I will take rest till I come back again. Okay, so this is the end of Act 3, Scene 2, which is very important for this, exam.